powerful in your present. We're talking about how to stand 10 toes down in your whole ass self. I don't want you to ever be out here faking the funk, sliding some things in places that you don't want people to see. I want you to be able to be your whole self, whether it's mess or greatness, because as I always say, on the other side of your mess is your greatness, and on the other side of your greatness is your mess. And I want you to learn how to stand powerfully in your whole ass self right now in the present, because there is no other time like the present. So let's get into this. Y'all know how we get started with my theme music, and then we're going to get into this presentation because I'm here to teach y'all how to be powerful in your own present. Let's get into this. And yes, welcome to my live stream. Oop, I got to take some stuff off here. I got too much stuff going on here on the screen. Forgot to take this background off because we don't need it. Yes, and so welcome to my live stream. I'm going to be talking to y'all about how you can be present, powerful in your present by standing 10 toes down in your whole ass self. I'm really excited to be having this conversation with you tonight. Let me, while I'm here, put in the chat the slides for tonight, because as you know, you always get a virtual and a visual experience with the Ratchet Sage, and I want you to have something that you can use to take your learning further. But while I'm getting into this, let's talk about how to be present. But I do want to welcome you to my live stream. This is where creatives, visionaries, innovators, entrepreneurs, and coaches, this is where those of us who I call authentically distinct folks, people like you and me, we come together and we focus on being our authentic selves for greater joy and impact for ourselves and those we touch with our unique gifts, talents, and abilities. And today we're going to be talking about how you can stand 10 toes down in your truth within an actionable safe space. Y'all know I'm out here talking about actionable safe spaces. I want you to stay in an actionable safe space, and it's important for you to do that, not just with regard to transitioning from your past, but also standing powerful in your present so that you can activate into your future in ways that honor you, serve you, and help you get to where you want to go. So how you can stand 10 toes down in your truth within an actionable safe space is what we're going to be talking about today. And as I am your guide to power, agency, and freedom today, let me introduce myself. I am Ebony L. Green of Authentic Distinction, and that is where I help authentically distinct and neuro-distinct folks develop deeper connections and impact in their life, their career, and their business without compromising their authenticity, their desires, and their values. I am the only certified life and business coach who teaches you how to use authenticity to create actionable safe spaces for yourself and for others. And I do this by guiding you to make sense of the greatness in your head without judging your truth, your worth, or your creativity, because that's the way you're going to be able to grow, shine, and do the most. This is how you bring your ass or your actionable safe space. I am unapologetically known as the Ratchet Sage because I'm not playing with your greatness, and I refuse to see you ashy in these streets. I want you to know that your impact has the capacity to be distinct, and therefore you have the capacity to be extremely valuable and sought after, and that this is only going to happen when you have safe places and spaces for you to shine in your authenticity and your unique capabilities. And that is the core of my work, teaching you how to develop clarity, confidence, and resilience in what makes you authentic so that you will have the ability to create actionable safe spaces everywhere you go for scaled impact. Last week we talked about how to use and harness clarity, confidence, and resilience to get you from where your past led you to where you are today. And today we're talking about how you can use your past, your present, and your future to get some, well, how you're going to use your clarity, confidence, and resilience to get some clarity in your present today, and how you can stand 10 toes down in that. Hold on one second. I got to let my husband know the food is here. Yep. Because life goes on even though you're going live. But yes, today we're going to be discussing what it takes to stand 10 toes down in your truth while maintaining an actionable safe space. We're answering questions like, how do you develop the clarity, confidence, and resilience in order for you to center yourself in your present when so much is happening in your life right now? I mean, there's so much happening in the world right now, so I'm sure there's a lot happening in your life right now, whether it's great or it's bad, and I want you to be able to handle all of that. You're going to need clarity, confidence, and resilience to do that. So this is what we're going to be talking about today, and this is what I'm going to be sharing with you today. So let's get into this. When you think about your present and life, love, and work, I want you to think about what comes up for you. And you can feel free to drop a comment in the chat and let me know what your thoughts are, because at the end of the day, whatever your thoughts are about this subject is what you came here to unpack for yourself. And I don't want you to be taking on what my thoughts are, what I'm bringing to y'all in this teaching, as it's the end all be all. No, quite frankly, this is an opportunity for you to get this clarity for yourself on what these things mean for you. And so sometimes just coming in and listening to the Ratchet Sage and going, you know what, I don't agree, I look at this a little bit differently, will help you get the clarity that you need on how you can see it for yourself, so that you can get into an actionable safe space for yourself. But for the majority of people who are following me, they'll recognize that clarity is part one of standing 10 toes down in your present. And that clarity requires you to have two things: vision of what you want, and also vision of what you don't want. Because without clarity of what you want and clarity of what you don't want, you're not going to be able to accept yourself today in ways that serve you. You just won't. And in order to have clarity in your current self, you want to have clarity in your vision of what you want and your vision of what you don't want right now in this current space. It could change tonight, it could change tomorrow, it could change next week, it could change next month, it could change next quarter, next year, it don't matter. But right now, being clear on what that is for you right now allows you to have the clarity to know how you're going to move forward. But how do you get that clarity? Well, the Ratchet Sage is here to let you know. If you want to have clear vision of what you want and what you don't want, all you got to do is start with your own perspective and your own lens. What does your perspective and lens tell you about where you're at right now? Start with yourself. And when you center yourself in this exposition, right, and you start thinking about, what does my perspective and lens tell me right now about whatever it is that I'm going through? That's how you can start with yourself and stay in a powerful place, standing 10 toes down in your whole ass self. Then you can think about, what are my capacities? Like, this might be my perspective and lens about a particular thing that I'm going through, but what is my capacity to know who I can be in that moment about that particular thing? And then what are my capabilities? What can I do right now about that particular thing? Having clarity in these three things really helps you, because your current self has a unique perspective and lens in any given moment. And when you start there, you can assess your current capacity to approach whatever comes from your unique perspective and lens. If your unique perspective and lens is telling you, I need to slow down, I need to pivot, I need to change, I need to get rid of some of this dead weight, there's going to be a lot of different things that your unique perspective and lens is going to be bubbling up for you. And when you take that and say, okay, what do I have the capacity to do with regard to that? And then what are my capabilities that I can lend towards this so I can get this done? When you do this, all of this will be based on your authentic capabilities and your authentic capacities. And now you can actually go for what your perspective and lens is telling you. This is how you stand 10 toes down in your current space with clarity. This is how you remain present enough today to develop and listen to your internal compass using all of your gifts, talents, and abilities. This is how you stand out whatever you decide to be and do. This clarity is the key. So I want you to understand a couple of things. With clarity, you're able to stand out. One. And in order for you to get that clarity, you want to start with your perspective and lens, be clear in your capacities and capabilities so that you can use those capacities and capabilities to enact something with regard to your perspective and lens. This is how you stand out. Okay, how you get to distinction. It requires clarity, and a lot of people will bypass this part, but that's part one of standing 10 toes down in your present, right? Part two of standing 10 toes down in your present is confidence. Clarity by itself is not going to do it. You need a little bit more, and that's why I'm encouraging you to get some confidence. And you're going to want confidence not just in the choices you can make, but also in the decisions you will make, okay? So without confidence in the choices you can make and the decisions you will make, and I just want to be clear, I don't want to go off to the side too much, but the choices you can make, there's a subset of things. And within that, there's a smaller subset of things that you will decide to do. So you have choices and then you have decisions, and they're not the same thing. So I don't want you to ever get it confused that when you're making choices, you have made a decision. No, your choices give you an opportunity of what's possible, what can be, and what can be done. But your decisions are what you will be and what you will do. There's a difference. But either way, you won't accept yourself today in ways that honor you if you're not confident in your choices and your decisions. And having confidence in your current self requires you to see what's possible for yourself today. That's where these choices come into play. And I call this discerning your choices, or what you can be and do in any given moment. But you also want to prioritize your next steps. It's not just enough for you to see what's possible for your next steps, but you want to prioritize your next steps. And I call this discerning your decisions, or what you will be and do. Because while you might be able to do all of this, you may decide to prioritize and focus on this right now. And sometimes having that clarity in what is possible for you, but what you're going to decide to do will give you confidence, knowing that you have more options than you thought you did, because now you're seeing a world of possibilities for yourself, even though you're not going to go after all of them. That makes you confident. Choosing the right things to decide upon out of your choices, that will give you confidence, and I want that for you. So I wanted to make sure you understood and could connect the dots between these things. And in order for you to get to that confidence, all you got to do is be open and curious, be focused and choosy, and get some support and guidance. Because your current self requires openness and curiosity in order for you to see all of the choices that you can make. And when you have more options, your confidence will grow. And as this is happening, your current self hungers for focus and choice, so that you can use your resonance to discern which choices matter to you. This is how you'll be able to prioritize. And when you know what choices matter to you, not only does this fuel your confidence, it also makes it easier for you to seek out the right support and guidance for you right now. And I think this is where a lot of people lose their confidence. They have clarity from their own perspective and lens on what they have the capacity and capability to do there and be, right? So they're out here trying to be and do that. They're confident in that. They're being open and curious. They're focused and they're being choosy, but they're choosing based upon all the wrong criteria. Who has all the followers? Who's making all the money? Who has done this before? Even though they're not really doing what you're here to do. They're just in your same field or running a business that's similar to your business. But when you're not following what you know makes sense for you, what resonates with you and your truth and where you're going, you're not going to keep that confidence for very long. So you'll start seeking support and guidance from folks who could never really truly support you and guide you in your vision, because they don't really believe in it. And you can't really leverage another person's experience if they don't believe in you and your vision and where you're going. So I really want you to have a sense of, when you're working with people and getting support and guidance from them, do these people even rock with you and rock with what you have going on? That's super, super important. And I want you to be thinking about that, because this is how you stand 10 toes down in your current space with confidence. You got to be open and curious, be focused and choosy, and get some support and guidance that aligns and resonates with you. This is how you will remain present enough today in order for you to hear and follow your inner compass, using all of your gifts, talents, and abilities. And this is how you shine in whatever you decide to be and do. This confidence is key. So, takeaways. Your confidence allows you to be able to shine. While your clarity allowed you to stand out, you need your confidence to shine, okay? And a big part of standing 10 toes down in your whole ass self is standing out, shining, and doing what we're going to be talking about next, slaying. But in order to slay, you need part 3. Oop, I'm going too fast. You need part 3. You got to be able to get this resilience, because you need resilience to stand 10 toes down in your present as well. Because resilience is going to give you the opportunity to slay. And the reason why is because resilience is all about planning, action, and evaluation. And without resilience in the actions you take to enact your current vision, based upon your perspective and your lens, your capacities and your capabilities, based upon all of the things that bring you your confidence that we just talked about, without resilience in your actions that you want to enact to get to your vision to come to life, you're not going to accept yourself today in ways that get you to where you're trying to go in life. Living with resilience as your current self requires you to plan. I call this deciding on your next steps for intentional, authentic action. Yes, you have all of these opportunities, you've looked at these possibilities, you've made some choices, and you're looking at those choices and saying, this is what I'm deciding on. So as you're deciding on your next steps, plan. Create an intentional, authentic action plan so that you can then take action. And I call this acting out your next steps. You can't just decide on your next steps and not act them out. Acting them out is what actually brings them to fruition and creates that part of your vision that actually happens in real life. So I call this acting out your next steps for forward motion and movement. There is no forward motion and movement without you actually taking some action. And if you're not basing your forward motion and movement on inspired action, you're just out here doing things, and chances are you're reacting or being stuck in inaction, and I don't want that for you. And the next thing you want to do is make sure you're evaluating. I call this assessing whether your chosen next steps worked on a regular basis. Like you want to look on a regular basis and say, did what I choose for my next steps actually work? This is how you have continuous improvement. There's no reason for you to be competing with anybody else but the person you were yesterday. And the reason for you to be able to grow is for you to think about, did that actually work? What worked about it for me? What didn't work? What could I have done better? What could I have affected? These things are super important. So at the end of the day, the way that you're going to be able to keep this resilience by doing those things is just to prioritize planning, prioritize inspired action, and prioritize growth. When you prioritize planning, you have the opportunity to get to the next steps that are on your own terms. And your current self is requiring you to plan so that you can see and choose what next steps will work for you. Again, on your own terms. But as this is happening, your current self is hungering for inspired action so that you can make moves on those next steps in ways that work for you. So when you prioritize inspired action, you're able to wear your clothes. Not the clothes somebody else wants you to wear, not the clothes that you think you should wear, the clothes you actually want to wear that you're creating for you based upon your vision. That's what we want. And so at the end of the day, you want to be taking the next steps in ways that work for you. And this is what I call wearing your clothes. And understand that every iteration that you go through is going to create a moment for growth. So you can prioritize growth and avoid inaction and reaction. This is how you'll be able to continuously improve from your current space. Planning, acting, and growing are fundamental to how you stand 10 toes down in your current space with resilience. This is how you remain present enough today to navigate and activate with your inner compass using all of your gifts, talents, and abilities. This is how you slay in whatever you decide to be and do. Whatever you decide to be and do. This is how resilience is key. We talked about how clarity allows you to stand out, and it allows you to be able to hear what your inner compass is saying. But then you have confidence, which gives you the opportunity to shine. And as you're shining, that gives you the opportunity to not only hear, but follow through on what your inner compass is saying. But when you get to this resilience, this resilience is helping you slay. And this allows you to navigate and activate with your inner compass. So you don't want to just be sitting here being a big ball of greatness and a little bit of mess and not allowing yourself to bloom, to do something in this world, to impact it. Because quite frankly, no one can do or be what you finna be and do on this planet. And no one ever in the history of people and in the future of people is ever going to be able to be and do who you are and what you are going to get done. So if you don't activate it, guess what? The world just don't get it. And like I've said before, Einstein didn't Einstein, and we don't get Einstein. So I'm going to need you to you so that we can get you, because you're here to offer something to the world that we all need. And a big part of that is going to be you managing change. We have to manage change that comes from our past. We have to manage change that comes from our current space. And we also have to manage change that comes from the future, because we are timeless as human beings. We are timeless. There's a timeless you that consistently changes. It's your truth, it's your identity, it's your lived experience, and that's okay. But your past self gives you the clarity to understand, I have lived, and therefore I know I have clarity, confidence, and resilience, and I know what they can do for me. Your current self really, really needs that confidence to keep it going, right? To fuel you in the present so that you can keep it going in the present. You understand, I live and I have a current truth, and I'm creating it as we speak. But then there's this future you that really needs resilience to believe all these things you're working towards in life, love, and work can happen. They can happen. They are real. You're working towards something that is going to be one day, and it's going to create an impact. That's your future truth. And you're going to need resilience to actually keep pushing into future you. And it's all of this combined that is your whole ass self, right? Your whole ass truth that shines and delivers a legacy to this world. And I want you to be able to do that. But this is really what I call change management with A.S.S, because life is all about change. There's no way to get around it. You're going to continuously have change. So for the first Sunday of this month, we talked about how you can develop your own framework for authentic change management and how you can leverage timeless you, past you, current you, future you, so you can get to legacy you. But last Sunday, we talked about how to transition from your past in ways that serve, honor, and spotlight your distinction today. And Today we talked about how you can accept your current self in ways that allow you to stand 10 toes down in your whole ass self so that you can activate into the future. So next Sunday we're going to talk about, and this will be the last Sunday of the month, we're going to be talking about how you can be impactful in your future and impactful for your future. And this will round out the entire conversation about change management within an actionable safe space, because I refuse to see y'all ashy out here in these streets. I don't want you ashy, and I'm here to ensure y'all know how this all works so that you can apply the lotion that makes sense for you. I want you to get to where you're going for the legacy that only you can bring to this world, and we just talked about that a little bit. But I'm going to talk about it a little bit more. If you don't get the weight of no one has walked in your shoes, no one has experienced what you've experienced, no one has heard what you've heard, nobody is ready to say what you're ready to say, because they just don't have the lived experience to be able to do that. It is up to you to give birth to whatever you're here to bring to the world. And I'm here to help you do that. You're going to need an actionable safe space to do that. You alone can bring forth to the world the legacy that you're here to bring. And if you don't stay in an actionable safe space and be willing to manage change as it comes up, you're not going to be able to bring that out. Instead, you'll just live your life. And I don't want that for you. I want you to have a legacy that honors your greatness as well as your mess, right? Because on the other side of your mess is your greatness, and on the other side of your greatness is your mess. All right. So when you think about what I've shared with y'all and taught y'all today about how to leverage clarity, confidence, and resilience within your current space so that you can stand 10 toes down in your whole ass self, I'd love to know what your takeaways are from today's discussion. You can drop your takeaways in the comments for me, whether you're with me live or you're catching the replay. Engage in the conversation. You can always hit me up in private channels if you want to have a private conversation. I would really love to do that, because I'd love to know what your thoughts are about this subject and how it was able to impact you. And also, for anyone who's joining me live or catching the replay later, there is a link that you can use that I just put into the chat earlier on when I first started. And you can use that to not only find the slides from today, but you'll also find various buttons with links to ways that you can connect with me so that you can work with me to activate whatever you've learned today that you want to talk to me about. Anyone can book a free consultation today, and we will have a 1-hour private conversation about what it will take to get you the clarity, confidence, and resilience so that you can be in an actionable safe space in your life, your career, or your business. I want you to go for yours, and I don't want you playing it small while you're out here doing it. So we're going to get you to an actionable safe space so that you can live big, be big, and do big, okay? But for those of you who are ready to learn and get some shit done, you can come get some shit done with folks who are clear in their past, present, and future so that they are flourishing in their life, career, and business. In my community, we clarify your vision so that you can conceptualize it and begin building it in the real world. It is time for you to get your big vision out of your head and into the real world, and you're going to need other visionaries and their knowledge for that. I built a whole community for us to come together and activate our big visions, and you can join for free today. I made this community, and it attracts creators, creatives, thinkers, philosophers, change makers, activists, community leaders, coaches, healers, entrepreneurs, and small business owners so that we can come together and really share what we know to get our big vision off the ground. It is an active working space. We do a lot of co-working. There's just a bunch of great stuff going on. And for free, you can definitely jump into the office hours that I do twice a week, one in the AM and one in the PM, because this is a global community and we want to catch people at all different time zones so that we can get the work together. When we come, we co-work, we ask questions, we strategize, and sometimes it's just silent co-working where it's a bunch of body doubling happening and we just get a bunch of work done. Nonetheless, if you are interested in staying active in your vision, join my Think Chat Masterminds community and let's get some shit done. And for you coaches in the room, I do have more for you. I don't want you to be out here ashy in these streets. So for those of you who are ready to learn and get some shit done, join me in my signature series of training programs that are designed specifically for coaches who want to stand out in this oversaturated industry on their own terms. I know you know everybody and their mama is out here calling themselves a coach and thinking that they can offer someone healing and tell people what to do and how to do it. And at the end of the day, coaching is a healing modality. It should be creating a transformation in someone's life. It shouldn't just be come buy my new thing, come sign up for my new thing. And so if you are even remotely thinking about becoming a coach and people have been telling you you would make a great coach, I'd love to see you be a coach, come join my live webinar that I'm going to be having on December 21st and come find out what the 5 pillars of authentic coaching power are so that you can decide whether or not coaching is really right for you. But if you're clear, coaching is for me, I know I need to be a coach, I just don't know what the next step is, right? If that's you, then what you want to do is jump into my 4-week workshop, because you're going to be able to learn what makes you special as a coach and what are the steps you take someone through to guide them to the transformation that only you can bring them to as a coach, which is based upon your lived experience. We're going to figure that out in that 4-week workshop. And if I think you've done swimmingly well and you've been amazing in that experience, I will give you a private invitation to join me in my 3-month intensive, where we will be developing your offers. We're talking about minimum viable offers, forward-facing client offers, your high-end client offers. We'll be getting you clear on your authentic coaching method, your authentic coaching process, so that you have all that together, your client avatars, your target market. I mean, all the things that you're going to need to start and launch your coaching business. We do that in the 3-month intensive, and the only way to get into that 3-month intensive is to get a private invitation from me, and I will extend that invitation if I think you did really well in the 4-week workshop. So if that sounds like something you're interested in, join my Unlock Your Expert Coach Academy today, and let's get some shit done if you're interested in being a coach or a healer of some sort, because as I said, coaching is a healing modality, and if you're out here giving people that work, you might as well be getting paid for it. So come join me in my Coach Academy. I look forward to seeing you there. But for those of you who are not ready to take action or invest yet, you can always book a free consultation with me so that we can discuss the best next steps for you, so that you can get to an actionable safe space for you in that big vision you've got. There's no reason for it to stay in your head and just stay there, right? There's an opportunity for you to work with a bunch of people out here who are willing to support you. So I want to help you do that, and you can join my community or get into my Coach Academy if you are a coach or a healer. And I do ask that you follow me on social media and help me beat these algorithms. I am at Authentic Distinction everywhere except for YouTube and Twitter, where I am at True Distinction. And if you clip anything I've said today, please tag me accordingly for attribution and homage, because they are out here trying to steal ingenious, indigenous, innovative greatness because they don't know how to authentically manage change in their own life, career, and business. They're just ashy and stuck. They haven't had a chance to work with the Ratchet Sage yet. So let's amplify authenticity so that you and yours can come bring your ass or your actionable safe spaces everywhere you go. And that takes us learning from the best of the best and hearing things from the source. So make sure you're paying attribution and homage everywhere you go. And those are my bring your ass next steps for y'all after you've heard all of this from me today. I know you want to get a better hold on how to accept your current self and stay in an actionable safe space, standing 10 toes down in your whole ass self. And if you wanted further support after our conversation today, I wanted you to know that I am here as a solution with the knowledge, strategy, resources, and tools to keep you in action that is born of your authentic agency. I will be live same time and same places on these social media streets, and I will be talking about how you can grow into your future self and still maintain an actionable safe space. So you can come next week and let's unpack this, and don't forget to bring a friend. Y'all can come learn together from the Ratchet Sage, and I look forward to seeing you there. This has been a great conversation today, and I thank y'all for being here or catching the replay. But y'all know what time it is. It's time for me to close out this live stream. So here is my countdown. I want you to stay open, because that's the only way that you're going to be able to explore as you live. You need openness to explore. Exploration requires openness, so remain open, okay? And as you remain open, I want you to prioritize choice. That's 4, okay? Prioritize choice so that you can navigate your life in your world. There is no navigation without choice, and so you want to make sure you prioritize your choice, prioritize other people's choice, so that we all can navigate as we go through this life in this world. All right, and then 3, I want you to choose acceptance, okay? Choose acceptance. That does not mean you accept everything that happens to you, but that does mean that you accept that it is happening so that you can discern and decide what you're going to do about it, okay? And then 2, I want you to encourage agency so that you can innovate. Innovation requires agency. You need to make sure you have agency, they have agency, so that you can innovate and they can innovate. That's extremely important, all right? So encourage agency so that you can innovate when you're alone and with others. And 1, last but not least, I want you to value desire, okay? Your desire, not someone else's desire for you, not somebody else's desire for them, not somebody else's desire for something else. Your desire for it all. I want you to value your desire so that you can activate all the things that matter to you from the actionable safe spaces you create using my signature method of Desire, Choose, Act. Peace, love, harmony, and blessings, y'all. I am out. I want you to stay authentic and be sure to bring your ass everywhere you go. And with that, peace. I'll see y'all next week.